Welcome back. If you're someone who constantly wakes up multiple times during the night to urinate, you're not alone. This condition, known as nocturia, affects millions of people worldwide. While it might seem like a bladder issue on the surface, recent scientific insights suggest that the root cause might be hiding in a different part of the body, your gut. Yes, you heard that right. Your digestive health can significantly influence how often you wake up to urinate at night. In today's video, we're going to explore 3 of the best gut healing foods that may naturally help reduce this nighttime discomfort and allow you to enjoy more restful sleep. To understand how the gut affects the bladder, we need to recognize that the body works as a highly interconnected system. The gut is home to trillions of bacteria that form what's called the gut microbiota. These bacteria do far more than just help digest food. They regulate immune responses, reduce inflammation, and maintain the health of the gut lining. When the gut becomes imbalanced, through poor diet, chronic stress, or medication, harmful bacteria can outnumber the beneficial ones, leading to inflammation that doesn't just stay in the gut. This inflammation can spread throughout the body, impacting other organs including the bladder. In some individuals, an imbalanced gut microbiome may trigger nerve signals that increase the urge to urinate or contribute to bladder irritation. So by nurturing your gut, you may indirectly reduce pressure on the bladder, especially at night. Now let's talk about the foods that can help. One of the most powerful gut healing foods is bone broth. It's rich in collagen, glycine, glutamine, and other amino acids that help repair and soothe the gut lining. A healthy intestinal wall prevents unwanted particles from leaking into the bloodstream, which would otherwise trigger inflammation and immune responses that may irritate the bladder. Drinking a warm cup of homemade or high-quality store-bought bone broth in the evening not only supports your gut, but also has a calming, sleep-promoting effect. It's gentle on digestion and easy to absorb, making it an excellent choice for those with sensitive systems. The second gut healing food on the list is fermented foods, such as sauerkraut, kefir, kimchi, and unsweetened yogurt. These are natural sources of probiotics, the beneficial bacteria that help maintain balance in your microbiome. When your gut is populated with the right bacteria, inflammation tends to decrease, digestion improves, and the immune system functions more efficiently. This reduction in systemic inflammation may contribute to a calmer bladder and less frequent nighttime urination. However, it's important to introduce fermented foods gradually. If your gut has been compromised for a long time, jumping straight into large portions can cause bloating or discomfort. Start slow and listen to how your body responds. The third food may surprise you: pumpkin seeds. These tiny seeds pack a powerful punch. They contain magnesium, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, and tryptophan, all of which are beneficial for both gut and bladder function. Magnesium, in particular, is known to support nerve relaxation, which may help reduce bladder overactivity. In addition to supporting muscle function, the fiber content in pumpkin seeds feeds your beneficial gut bacteria, promoting better digestion and microbiome balance. They're easy to incorporate into your routine. Simply add a handful as a snack during the day or sprinkle them over salads or soups. Of course, knowing what to eat is only part of the solution. Timing matters. Bone broth works best in the evening, ideally 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Fermented foods are better consumed earlier in the day, with meals to allow enough time for digestion and to avoid potential bloating overnight. As for pumpkin seeds, they make a perfect mid-afternoon or early evening snack that won't overload your system before sleep. It's also important to manage your fluid intake. Many people unknowingly drink a majority of their fluids in the evening, which naturally fills the bladder before bedtime. Try to front-load your hydration earlier in the day and limit liquids within 2 hours of sleep unless medically advised otherwise. Now, while adding the right foods is essential, it's just as important to avoid the wrong ones. Some common dietary triggers that damage the gut and potentially worsen nocturia include processed sugars, artificial sweeteners, fried foods, spicy meals, and excess alcohol or caffeine. These can disrupt the balance of gut bacteria, weaken the gut lining, and increase inflammation throughout the body. For someone struggling with nighttime urination, These ingredients can quietly aggravate symptoms, even if the rest of the diet seems healthy. Even so-called healthy snack bars or low-calorie drinks can contain hidden irritants, so it's always wise to read labels carefully. Beyond diet, other lifestyle practices can support both gut and bladder health. Getting enough quality sleep, minimizing stress, and considering a reputable probiotic supplement can all make a difference. A regular sleep schedule, reducing screen time before bed, and keeping your room cool and dark can improve sleep quality, which is especially important for those with nocturia. If your body is already being disrupted by multiple nighttime bathroom trips, you'll want to create the most sleep-friendly environment possible to recover faster. In conclusion, addressing gut health can be a surprisingly effective strategy to reduce frequent urination at night. Bone broth, fermented foods, and pumpkin seeds are simple, natural options that support the gut-bladder connection. By healing the gut, reducing inflammation, and calming the nervous system, these foods may help bring relief from nocturia over time. The process isn't instant, but with consistency and care, meaningful improvement is absolutely possible. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please consider subscribing and sharing it with someone who may benefit. Stay well, and until next time, take care of your gut, and your whole body will thank you. The connection between your gut and bladder might not be obvious at first, but it's more powerful than most people realize. When we think of frequent urination at night or nocturia, we typically assume it's all about the bladder. But recent studies suggest that the gut plays a significant role in regulating inflammation, nerve communication, and even the immune response that affects bladder behavior. The gut and bladder are linked through something known as the gut-bladder axis, which refers to the communication network between your gastrointestinal system and urinary system. This communication is controlled by nerves, hormones, immune cells, and even the bacteria that live in your gut. When your gut is healthy, it helps maintain balance throughout the entire body, including the organs involved in urination. But when the gut is out of balance, the impact can ripple outward, affecting bladder sensitivity, control, and function. The trillions of bacteria in your intestines, known as the gut microbiota, are responsible for regulating inflammation and keeping the gut lining intact. A strong gut lining prevents harmful substances from entering the bloodstream, where they could trigger widespread inflammation. However, when this barrier becomes compromised, a condition often called leaky gut, it can allow toxins, bacteria, and partially digested food particles to pass through and enter the bloodstream. This activates the immune system and can lead to chronic, low-grade inflammation throughout the body. The bladder is highly sensitive to inflammation, even when it's not directly infected or damaged. Inflammatory signals can make the bladder wall more irritable, reduce its storage capacity, and cause the nerves to become overactive, leading to more frequent urges to urinate, especially during rest hours when the body is trying to repair itself. This problem can become worse with age, stress, poor diet, antibiotics, and other medications that damage gut flora. A disrupted microbiome doesn't just affect digestion. It can influence how calm or reactive your bladder is. For example, harmful gut bacteria can create byproducts that irritate the bladder lining or trigger immune responses that cause spasms and increased urgency. When you sleep, your body is supposed to be in a relaxed, healing mode. But if your gut is inflamed, it can send signals to the bladder that mimic the urge to urinate, waking you up multiple times throughout the night. Over time, this repeated sleep interruption can worsen fatigue, hormone balance, and even gut function itself, creating a vicious cycle. That's why taking care of your gut is not only good for digestion, but also for promoting better bladder control and restful sleep. Another critical aspect of this connection is how the nervous system interacts with both the gut and bladder. The gut contains the enteric nervous system, often called the second brain, because it has such a strong influence on other parts of the body. It communicates with the brain and spinal cord through the vagus nerve, and this same network influences bladder function. If the gut is in a state of imbalance or inflammation, these nerve signals can become exaggerated or confused, contributing to sensations of urgency or discomfort. even if the bladder itself isn't full. When your gut is calm and functioning properly, it sends balanced, healthy signals to the rest of your body, including the nerves that control urination. This is why improving gut health through food, lifestyle, and supportive habits can play a major role in reducing nocturia naturally. Understanding the gut-bladder connection allows us to approach nocturia in a more complete and holistic way. Instead of only focusing on the bladder or limiting fluid intake at night, it becomes equally important to nurture the gut with healing foods, probiotics, fiber, and anti-inflammatory nutrients. By repairing the gut lining, supporting the microbiome, and calming systemic inflammation, we may see a reduction in bladder irritation and nighttime urination episodes. It's not an overnight fix, but it's a foundational strategy that addresses the root cause rather than just the symptoms. And for many people, especially those who've tried everything else, supporting the gut might just be the missing piece in achieving better bladder health and deeper, uninterrupted sleep. Inside your gut lives a vast community of microorganisms known as the microbiota. These beneficial bacteria play a central role in maintaining overall health, including the proper functioning of the bladder. Although the bladder and gut are two separate organs, they are closely connected through immune, neurological, and biochemical pathways. When the balance of gut bacteria is maintained, the body experiences reduced levels of inflammation, better immune regulation, and improved tissue function, including in areas far from the digestive tract, like the bladder. When the microbiota is thriving, it acts as a natural defense system, producing anti-inflammatory compounds, strengthening the gut lining, and preventing harmful substances from spreading throughout the body. These benefits don't stop at the digestive tract, they extend to the urinary system as well, helping to reduce irritation in the bladder and support overall urinary comfort. When the microbiota becomes imbalanced, condition known as dysbiosis, it creates an environment where harmful bacteria can flourish, both in the gut and possibly in the urinary tract. Dysbiosis often leads to increased production of inflammatory chemicals and toxins that can travel through the bloodstream and irritate sensitive tissues, including the bladder wall. In this state, the bladder may become more reactive, meaning even small amounts of urine can trigger the urge to urinate. This is one reason people with chronic gut issues often report increased urinary symptoms like urgency, frequency, or nocturia. Essentially, when the gut is inflamed or disrupted, it may cause the bladder to misinterpret signals and behave as though it's full or under threat, even when it's not. Restoring balance to the microbiota can help calm these exaggerated responses and support a more stable bladder environment. The beneficial bacteria in your gut also produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which are powerful anti-inflammatory agents. These substances help reduce systemic inflammation and support the integrity of the gut lining, which is critical for preventing immune overactivation. When the immune system is constantly on high alert due to gut imbalances, it may start reacting to harmless stimuli, including in the bladder, triggering unnecessary urgency and discomfort. But when your gut is colonized by a healthy mix of microbes, it sends calming signals to the immune system, which then allows the bladder to relax and function normally. This balance can lead to fewer nighttime trips to the bathroom and a noticeable improvement in quality of sleep. Additionally, research shows that a healthy gut microbiome supports hormonal balance, which indirectly affects bladder control, especially in older adults. Estrogen, for instance, has a protective effect on the urinary tract, and gut bacteria are involved in regulating how this hormone is metabolized and used by the body. When gut health declines, hormonal imbalances can occur, leading to increased bladder sensitivity and weakening of pelvic tissues. This is particularly relevant for women going through menopause or individuals dealing with age-related changes in urinary function. Supporting the microbiota with a diet rich in fiber, fermented foods, and prebiotics can help maintain this delicate hormonal and immune balance. When it comes to managing nocturia naturally, one of the most overlooked yet powerful strategies is to support the gut with healing foods. Research is beginning to highlight the connection between a balanced digestive system and a calmer, less irritated bladder. While medications and lifestyle changes can be helpful, dietary choices, particularly foods that repair the gut and promote a healthy microbiome, can offer deep long-term relief. Among the many options available, 3 gut healing foods stand out for their specific ability to reduce inflammation, support the intestinal lining, and restore microbial balance, which may in turn help reduce nighttime urination. The first of these foods is bone broth, a nutrient-dense liquid made by simmering animal bones with connective tissue, herbs, and vegetables over several hours. Bone broth is rich in collagen, gelatin, glycine, and glutamine, compounds that are known to help repair the gut lining and reduce intestinal permeability, sometimes referred to as leaky gut. When the gut lining is strong and intact, harmful substances are less likely to leak into the bloodstream, which reduces systemic inflammation and helps calm the immune response that can affect bladder function. A healthier gut environment supports better nerve communication and reduces the likelihood of triggering those false urges to urinate during the night. Drinking a warm cup of bone broth a few hours before bedtime may not only support your gut, but also promote better sleep, making it a simple yet effective addition to your nighttime routine. Another powerful gut healing food is fermented food. This includes items like sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, unsweetened yogurt, and miso. Fermented foods are natural sources of probiotics, which are the beneficial bacteria that live in your gut and help maintain microbial balance. These bacteria play a vital role in reducing inflammation, improving digestion, and regulating immune function, all factors that indirectly influence bladder health. When your gut microbiota is diverse and thriving, the overall inflammatory load on your body decreases, which may lead to fewer bladder flare-ups and nighttime disturbances. By adding small portions of fermented foods to your daily meals, you're essentially reseeding your gut with friendly bacteria that support your body's natural ability to calm itself down. This is especially useful for individuals who have taken antibiotics, experienced digestive issues, or lived with chronic stress, all of which can disrupt the microbiome and contribute to bladder sensitivity. The third food that deserves special attention is pumpkin seeds. These small, crunchy seeds are not only delicious, but packed with key nutrients that support both gut and bladder health. Pumpkin seeds are a rich source of magnesium, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, and tryptophan, each of which plays a role in calming the nervous system and reducing muscle spasms. Magnesium, in particular, helps relax smooth muscle tissue, including the bladder wall, which may reduce the sensation of urgency at night. In addition, the dietary fiber found in pumpkin seeds acts as a prebiotic, feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut and helping them flourish. A healthier microbiome leads to improved digestion and less systemic irritation, which may indirectly support better bladder control. You can enjoy pumpkin seeds as a standalone snack, sprinkle them over salads, or add them to your breakfast bowl. Just a small handful daily can provide lasting benefits without overwhelming your system. Incorporating these 3 gut healing foods into your daily routine doesn't require major changes to your diet, but can result in meaningful improvements over time. While everyone's body responds differently, many people find that by supporting the gut first, other seemingly unrelated symptoms, like nocturia, begin to improve naturally. The key is consistency. When you regularly nourish your body with collagen-rich broths, probiotic-rich ferments, and nutrient-dense seeds, you create a strong internal foundation that helps calm inflammation, balance immune reactions, and reduce nerve sensitivity, all of which can contribute to fewer bathroom trips during the night and a more restful, uninterrupted sleep. These foods work with your body's natural systems, making them a gentle, safe, and effective approach to supporting both gut and bladder wellness. Eating gut healing foods is an excellent first step toward reducing nocturia, but knowing when and how to consume these foods can significantly improve their impact. The body has its own natural rhythms for digestion, absorption, and healing, and timing your intake accordingly can maximize the benefits of each nutrient-dense food. Let's take bone broth, for example. This soothing, collagen-rich liquid is best consumed in the evening, ideally about 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. Drinking bone broth at this time not only provides the gut with healing amino acids like glutamine and glycine, but also has a naturally calming effect on the nervous system. This may help reduce stress, promote deeper sleep, and give your gut time to absorb its nutrients without competing with heavier foods or large volumes of liquid. To avoid putting excess pressure on the bladder, it's wise to consume only a small serving, such as half to 1 cup, and to ensure it's not too close to bedtime to allow your body to process it without filling the bladder. Fermented foods require a different approach. Because they are rich in live probiotic cultures, they are best consumed earlier in the day, ideally with your main meals. This gives the digestive system ample time to integrate the beneficial bacteria into the gut environment and helps prevent potential bloating or gas that could occur if consumed too late at night. Fermented foods like kefir or yogurt can be included at breakfast, while sauerkraut, kimchi, or miso can be added to lunch or dinner. The key is moderation. Start with small portions, such as a tablespoon of sauerkraut or half a cup of kefir, especially if you're not used to fermented products. Over time, your gut will adapt, and you can increase the quantity gradually. By consuming these foods consistently and in small amounts throughout the day, you encourage a steady population of beneficial bacteria, which can help calm systemic inflammation and reduce the underlying irritation that may be contributing to nighttime urination. Pumpkin seeds, the third gut healing food discussed, are very versatile and can be consumed as a snack or added to meals at various times of the day. However, for those concerned about nocturia, it's ideal to consume them during the earlier part of the day or mid-afternoon. This allows your body to benefit from the magnesium, zinc, and fiber content without introducing excess calories or fats too late in the evening. A small handful of pumpkin seeds can make a satisfying snack that supports gut bacteria while also delivering bladder-calming nutrients. You can also sprinkle them over salads, blend them into smoothies, or use them as a crunchy topping for oatmeal or soups. They are portable, shelf-stable, and easy to incorporate into a busy routine without much planning. Beyond the individual timing of these foods, it's also crucial to consider your overall eating habits throughout the day. To reduce the risk of nighttime urination, avoid heavy meals late in the evening and begin tapering your fluid intake about 2 hours before bedtime. While it's essential to stay well hydrated during the day, drinking large amounts of fluid late at night can overwhelm the bladder, even if your gut is healing. Pairing your gut healing foods with whole, fiber, rich meals during the day can further support digestion, regulate blood sugar, and reduce inflammatory spikes that may affect both the gut and bladder. Consistency is more important than perfection. You don't need to consume all 3 foods every day, but integrating them into your weekly routine in a mindful and timely way can gradually support gut restoration. Over time, this balanced approach may lead to less bladder urgency at night, improved sleep, and a stronger digestive system. By understanding when and how to eat these foods, you're not just feeding your body, you're supporting its natural rhythms and allowing healing to take place on a deeper, more sustainable level. When managing nocturia through gut health, it's equally important to know what to avoid as it is to know what to eat. Certain foods can quietly disrupt the delicate balance of the gut microbiome, weaken the gut lining, and increase inflammation throughout the body, all of which may contribute to bladder irritation and worsen nighttime urination. While these foods are often part of everyday diets, they can have a lasting impact on both gut and bladder health, especially when consumed frequently or in large quantities. By recognizing and limiting these common dietary triggers, you can support a healthier gut environment and reduce the underlying irritation that may be causing nocturia. One of the biggest culprits is processed sugar, found in sweets, baked goods, sweetened drinks, and even many packaged health foods. Refined sugar feeds harmful gut bacteria and encourages the overgrowth of yeast and pathogenic organisms. This imbalance, known as dysbiosis, can lead to increased production of inflammatory compounds and weaken the gut's protective barrier. When inflammation becomes widespread, the bladder may become more sensitive, triggering increased urgency and nighttime urination. Excess sugar also spikes insulin and disrupts hormone levels, which may indirectly influence fluid retention and kidney function. Reducing sugar intake and avoiding hidden sugars on ingredient lists is one of the most effective ways to protect the gut and improve bladder stability. Another common irritant is artificial sweeteners. While marketed as a healthier alternative to sugar, substances like aspartame, saccharin, and sucralose have been shown in some studies to negatively affect gut bacteria. These sweeteners can reduce microbial diversity and may lead to increased intestinal permeability, also known as leaky gut. Additionally, artificial sweeteners may directly irritate the bladder lining in sensitive individuals, causing more frequent urges to urinate, especially during the night. Opting for natural sweeteners like stevia in small amounts, or better yet, training your palate to enjoy less sweetness overall, can go a long way in supporting both gut and bladder health. Fried and greasy foods are also problematic. They are difficult to digest, often loaded with trans fats, and can cause inflammation in the digestive tract. Regular consumption of deep, fried items like chips, fast food, and fried meats can slow down digestion, promote bacterial imbalances, and strain the gut lining. These foods also tend to be high in sodium, which can affect fluid balance in the body and contribute to nighttime urination. A gut under stress from unhealthy fats and irritants will struggle to maintain its barrier function and immune regulation, which can indirectly stimulate the bladder and interfere with restful sleep. Caffeinated beverages, especially when consumed in the late afternoon or evening, are another group to watch. While moderate caffeine might not harm the gut directly, it does act as a diuretic and bladder stimulant. For someone already dealing with nocturia, even a small cup of tea or coffee later in the day can increase urine production and irritate the bladder lining. Moreover, energy drinks and sodas often combine caffeine with sugar and artificial additives, creating a triple threat to gut and urinary health. Switching to non-caffeinated herbal teas or infused water earlier in the day can help reduce overnight disturbances. Alcohol, particularly when consumed regularly, poses a dual threat. It not only acts as a bladder irritant and diuretic, but also disrupts gut barrier function and damages beneficial bacteria. Chronic alcohol use has been linked to increased intestinal inflammation, weakened immunity, and hormonal imbalances, all of which may contribute to nighttime urination. Even occasional drinking can interfere with sleep quality and hydration patterns, which in turn impacts the bladder. For those aiming to heal their gut and reduce nocturia, reducing or eliminating alcohol can be a game-changing step. Packaged and ultra-processed foods in general often contain a mix of gut-damaging ingredients, preservatives, emulsifiers, artificial flavors, and refined flours. These additives can disrupt gut flora, trigger immune reactions, and promote low-grade inflammation. They also tend to be low in fiber and high in empty calories, which means they do little to support a healthy microbiome. Replacing these with whole, nutrient-dense foods such as vegetables, lean proteins, and gut-supportive options like fermented products or bone broth can slowly repair the digestive system and reduce the triggers contributing to bladder irritation. By identifying and minimizing these gut-damaging foods, you take an important step toward not only improving digestion, but also reducing the internal stress that may be aggravating your bladder. Dietary improvements don't need to happen overnight, but making gradual shifts away from irritants and toward healing foods can lead to meaningful changes in your health. A calmer gut often leads to a calmer bladder, and for those struggling with nocturia, that can mean fewer disruptions at night and a better quality of life. Supporting the gut-bladder connection goes beyond diet alone. While healing foods play a vital role in restoring digestive balance and reducing bladder irritation, lifestyle habits and select supplements can significantly enhance and accelerate the process. A healthy gut thrives in a stable environment, one that is calm, rested, and free from chronic stressors. These same conditions also allow the bladder to function without unnecessary triggers or sensitivity. Adopting intentional daily routines and incorporating proven gut-friendly practices can help reduce the underlying causes of nocturia while strengthening the body's natural healing systems. One of the most overlooked yet crucial lifestyle habits is proper sleep hygiene. Consistent, high-quality sleep not only restores energy, but also supports digestive health, hormone regulation, and immune balance. When sleep is irregular or interrupted, cortisol levels rise, which can disrupt both gut flora and bladder control. Creating a calming bedtime routine, limiting screen time before bed, and maintaining a cool, dark, and quiet sleep environment can make a noticeable difference. It's also helpful to avoid heavy meals late at night and to taper off fluid intake at least 2 hours before sleeping. This gives your digestive system time to settle and reduces pressure on the bladder during rest. Stress management is another essential component of gut and bladder healing. Chronic emotional stress has been shown to alter gut bacteria, weaken the intestinal lining, and increase systemic inflammation. It can also heighten nerve sensitivity in the bladder, making it more likely to react to small amounts of urine or send false urgency signals. Incorporating stress-reducing practices like deep breathing, meditation, light stretching, or even short walks in nature can positively impact both gut health and urinary function. Even just 10 to 15 minutes a day of intentional relaxation can support your body's repair processes in subtle but powerful ways. Regular physical activity is also highly beneficial. Gentle, consistent movement promotes better digestion, supports circulation, and helps regulate inflammatory markers throughout the body. Exercise doesn't need to be intense. Activities like walking, yoga, or low-impact aerobic workouts can be enough to keep the gut engaged and reduce the burden on the bladder. Moreover, physical activity supports better sleep quality and mood balance, both of which are crucial when managing nocturia and digestive challenges. On the supplement side, probiotics are one of the most commonly recommended tools for improving gut health. Probiotics are live microorganisms that, when taken in appropriate amounts, can help replenish beneficial bacteria and restore microbial balance. For individuals dealing with nocturia linked to gut dysfunction, probiotics may help reduce inflammation and strengthen the intestinal barrier, leading to fewer bladder irritants circulating in the system. However, it's important to choose a high-quality probiotic tailored to your needs. Different strains have different effects, so consulting with a qualified healthcare provider is recommended before starting a supplement. Prebiotics, which are specialized plant fibers that feed beneficial gut bacteria, can also support microbiome growth. These are found in foods like garlic, onions, bananas, and asparagus, but are also available in supplement form. When taken consistently, prebiotics help the probiotics thrive, leading to a more balanced gut environment. This improved microbial activity can support immune regulation and help decrease unnecessary inflammation that might otherwise affect the bladder. Other supplements to consider include magnesium and omega-3 fatty acids. Magnesium supports muscle relaxation, nerve regulation, and sleep quality, all factors that contribute to healthier bladder control and reduced nocturia. Omega-3, as commonly found in fish oil supplements, help fight inflammation and support tissue repair throughout the body, including in the gut and urinary system. Both of these supplements are generally safe when used correctly, but should still be discussed with a healthcare provider, especially if you're taking medications or managing other health conditions. Staying hydrated throughout the day, but not excessively close to bedtime, is another key tip. Many people mistakenly believe they must cut off water intake entirely in the evening, but dehydration can worsen bladder sensitivity and slow down gut function. Instead, focus on drinking most of your fluids earlier in the day, and then gradually reducing intake in the evening. If you feel thirsty at night, take small sips rather than large amounts. Overall, healing the gut-bladder connection requires a combination of daily choices that work in harmony with your body's natural rhythms. From prioritizing quality sleep and stress relief to choosing the right supplements and staying active, each piece of the puzzle supports the broader goal of reducing nocturia and restoring digestive balance. Consistency is key. Over time, these practices can create an internal environment where both the gut and bladder can function with less irritation, leading to fewer nighttime interruptions and a healthier, more comfortable life. In conclusion, managing nocturia through gut health is a gentle, natural, and highly effective approach that focuses on healing from the inside out. By understanding the close relationship between the gut and the bladder, we unlock new ways to support our body without relying solely on temporary solutions. The foods we choose, such as bone broth, fermented products, and pumpkin seeds, can provide essential nutrients that strengthen the gut lining, reduce systemic inflammation, and calm the nervous system, all of which contribute to better bladder control, especially at night. Equally important is knowing what to avoid, including processed sugars, artificial sweeteners, and gut-disrupting ingredients that may worsen both digestive and urinary symptoms. Alongside a nourishing diet, simple lifestyle changes such as better sleep hygiene, stress management, hydration timing, and thoughtful supplementation can create the ideal environment for healing. While results may take time, consistent efforts can lead to fewer nighttime interruptions, deeper rest, and improved overall well-being. Always remember, each small step you take toward supporting your gut is also a step toward a more peaceful night. Thank you for watching, and if you found this content helpful, feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more evidence-based wellness insights.